Through my whole playthrough of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, through the master ranks and the story, I exclusively played the dual blades. In base Rise, I enjoyed them so much near the endgame, and ended up making a set for each different elemental type. So since I enjoyed them so greatly in the little endgame that Rise had, I knew I had to play these through the expansion of Sunbreak, especially considering the focus on the aerial playstyle, which is my personal favourite, and the new silkbind moves such as Spiral Slash, which is so anime I just love it. Later on we'll have a guide for you guys going over the essentials, but we don't want to rush these things so you guys can get the best information. So make sure to subscribe down below to keep up to date with all things Sunbreak, and click like to support the video. Let me know in the comments what your main has been throughout your playthrough, and in this one we're going to talk about the dualies, my thoughts, and the weapon itself at a top level. In the base version of Rise, the dual blades were in an interesting place. They had two distinct playstyles, one for grounded and one for aerial. Although each had its benefits, you largely wanted to use grounded combos for when the openings were available on the monsters, and use aerial for when the monster is moving around a lot to keep safe with the iframes of Demon Flight, as well as to keep your damage uptime on the monster consistent. The thing is, elemental damage wasn't at its full potential in base Rise. Skills like Critical Element, which should have been fantastic for a weapon like Dual Blades that utilizes elemental damage really well, actually resulted in less damage than just using something like Critical Boost. This was quite a shame considering you really wanted to focus on elemental damage types for the Dual Blades in your mix sets because of their rapid hitting nature. Well, in Sunbreak we had a whole bunch of tweaks, buffs, and nerfs which mix things up quite a lot, and that's not including the new switch skills as well as the silkbind attacks. The thing is, both Demon Flight and Archdemon mode of the weapon have received elemental damage percentage buffs. This combined with the new master rank weapons that have way more elemental damage than ever before in Rise means that a large portion of our damage is now actually elemental rather than being a majority of raw. This is perfect for the dual blades, and it's where they shine when dealing damage that capitalizes on a monster's weakness. So these buffs, and obviously the new weapons that have been added in, means that the dual blades can live out their best elemental life using skills that focus on elemental damage, matching a monster's weakness, and feeling like a true monster hunter when you go out on a quest with a tailor-made mix set to that specific monster's elemental weakness. Although it's not for everyone to make multiple mix sets like this, for someone like me who enjoys making mix sets, who enjoys changing things up, trying different playstyles, different weapons, and different armors, this is perfect. It means you could make a different mix set for each elemental type, and now they will actually function really well. Then you combine this with some of the new armor skills that are in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, like Chain Crit, or like Blood Right, or even the endgame boss's Dereliction or Gore Magala's Bloodlust. These are things that just absolutely synergize perfectly with the dual blades. So a lot of the new things in Master Rank really work for the dual blades, which is really exciting and makes them even more fun to play. But we also need to talk about managing your sharpness. Because of the rapid hitting nature of the dual blades, they can deplete their sharpness so bad, which means you have to end up sharpening quite often in a hunt. Things like Protective Polish and Speed Sharpening were ideal for the dual blades, but of course it wasn't for everyone having to constantly stop every 60 or 90 seconds to sharpen to get Protective Polish, just so that you could keep your white sharpness in base Rise, or now in Sunbreak your purple sharpness. While there's still a solid combination of skills to help capitalize on keeping your high sharpness, the dual blades themselves got a new silkbind move that is absolutely fantastic and addresses this issue. It's called the Iron Shine Silk, and it essentially is a 1 silk bug costing move that gives you a little bit of sharpness back when you use it, but also gives you a buff that restores sharpness when evading an attack. This means your silkbind counter, your Demon Flight iframes, and other moves that let you evade will give you a satisfying ding noise and restore your sharpness for you as you're fighting. This lets you focus on damage, and it even works on monster roars. This, combined with things like the new level 4 decorations for something like Evade Window, which makes getting those evasions even easier, thus meaning that you get sharpness even easier, and therefore not having to ever actually sharpen if you're regularly buffing up and using those windows to counter or evade. Now we need to also talk about the returning move Spiral Slash. This move is not only visually incredible, it's a literal Attack on Titan Levi spin attack that deals extra damage, tons of hits with a focus on elemental damage, and is great for breaking monster parts or taking advantage of already broken monster parts. Furthermore, you can cast this from the ground or in the air, so whatever your playstyle is, it's still available to you. It's a great damaging move when your window of opportunity is there, as well as a quick escape as it launches you really far away from the monster should you miss. The thing is, you need to hit a certain threshold of a monster's weak zone to actually land the spiral drill part of the move. So really it's a move that you have to learn to master as you play, and you need to time it between the monster's attacks so that you don't get knocked out of it. This makes it really satisfying to play because as you're playing through the game and improving as a hunter, you can notice those differences of being knocked out of the attack less and missing it less often. It's like visual proof of your practice that you're getting better. So overall guys, I've been loving the dual blades in Sunbreak. I think they're in a much better place than they were in Rise, and I still really enjoyed them in base Rise. So essentially, they were already pretty good, and now they're even better and work better at what they do best. Make sure to let me know in the comments if there's anything specific about the dual blades that I've missed or glossed over that you think is really important. Of course, click like and subscribe down below if you do enjoy these videos. And the videos on screen now we think will be perfect for you guys, so make sure to click them, check them out, let us know what you think of them once you've watched them, but definitely don't miss out by clicking on the screen now.